Have you ever wondered how a Christmas tree travels from a snowy farm all the way to your living room? Today we're going on an adventure to see how these trees grow from tiny seeds, how farmers cut and move them without any branches breaking, and the special trick that keeps your tree fresh and green inside your home. By the end, you'll know exactly what happens on a Christmas tree's big journey from the forest to your family. Welcome to Goalie's PIP Academy. Let's start at the very beginning. Picture this, a tiny seed, smaller than a sprinkle on a cookie. That's how every single Christmas tree starts its life. These seeds come from pine cones that fall from grown-up trees. When a seed lands in the soil and gets covered up, something amazing begins to happen. First, the seed needs three really important things. It needs sunlight from above, water from the ground, and air all around it. When it gets all three of these things, the seed cracks open. A tiny root pushes down into the dirt, and a teeny green shoot pushes up toward the sky. This little baby tree is called a seedling, and it's only about as tall as your finger. Now here's where the magic really starts. Those green needles on the baby tree, they're like tiny solar panels. When sunlight hits them, the tree does something incredible. It takes the sunlight's energy, mixes it with water from its roots and air from around it, and makes its own food. We call this photosynthesis. Photo means light, and synthesis means putting things together. So photosynthesis means using light to put things together and make food. Pretty cool, right? The tree uses this food to grow bigger and bigger. Every single year, the tree adds a new layer of wood around its trunk. If you cut through a tree trunk, you'd see rings, kind of like the rings inside an onion. Each ring is 1 year of growth. So if you count the rings, you can tell exactly how old the tree is. A Christmas tree that's ready to go to someone's home is usually about 7 to 10 years old. That means it has 7 to 10 rings inside its trunk. All right, let's pause for a quick quiz. Are you ready? Multiple choice question. What do Christmas trees need to grow big and strong? A. Sunlight, water, and air. B. Candy canes and ornaments. C. Snow and ice cream. D. Pillows and blankets. The answer is A. Sunlight, water, and air. Those are the three things trees need to make their own food and grow big and strong. Great job!
Hey, you're watching Goalie's PIP Academy, where we teach about science, geography, history, everything about the whole world. If you want to watch these classes with no ads, no distractions, go to getgoalie.com.
Now let's talk about what happens when the tree is finally ready to go to a family's home. When winter arrives and the tree is the perfect size, the farmer walks through the rows of trees looking for ones that are just right. Not too tall, not too short. Nice and full with branches all the way around. When the farmer finds the perfect tree, it's time to cut it down. But here's the tricky part. These trees can be really heavy. Some Christmas trees weigh as much as a big dog, maybe 50 or 60 pounds. And they're tall and bushy with branches sticking out everywhere. So how does a farmer cut down a tree and move it without breaking all those branches? First, the farmer uses a special saw to cut through the bottom of the trunk. The farmer cuts at an angle, very carefully, so the tree will fall exactly where they want it to. As the tree tips over, the farmer guides it down gently onto the soft ground. Now the tree is lying on the ground. Time to move it. The farmer does something clever. They find the tree's center of gravity. That's the spot where all the weight balances out perfectly. For a Christmas tree, the center of gravity is usually somewhere in the middle of the trunk. When you lift something at its center of gravity, it doesn't tip forward or backward. It stays balanced, like a seesaw that has the same weight on both sides. But the tree still needs to travel from the farm to the store, and then from the store to someone's house. That means it has to ride in a truck or on top of a car. So farmers use strong ropes or straps to tie the tree down. They wrap the rope around the trunk and the branches, then tie it tight to the truck bed or the roof of the car. Sometimes they even put the tree in a special net that squeezes all the branches close to the trunk. When the truck drives down the road, the tree stays put. The ropes hold it in place. The net protects the branches. And because everything is balanced and secured, the tree arrives with all its branches still perfect and unbroken. Time for another quiz. Get ready, multiple choice question. Why don't Christmas tree branches break when farmers move them? A. The trees are made of rubber. B. Farmers balance and tie the trees carefully. C. The branches are frozen solid. D. Trees don't have any branches. The answer is B. Farmers balance and tie the trees carefully. Great job! Now let's talk about keeping the tree fresh and green inside your home. So the tree finally makes it to someone's house. The family brings it inside, sets it up in a stand, and starts decorating it. But here's the thing. This tree is no longer in the ground. Its roots have been cut off. So how does it stay alive and green for weeks? Remember how we talked about trees needing water? Well, even after a tree is cut, it still needs water. Without water, the needles would turn brown and dry, and they'd start falling off. So families put the bottom of the tree trunk into a stand that holds water, kind of like putting flowers in a vase. And here's the amazing part. The tree can still drink that water even though it doesn't have roots anymore. Inside the tree trunk are thousands of tiny tubes. These tubes run from the bottom all the way up to every branch and every needle. The water gets pulled up through these tubes by something called capillary action. It's kind of like how a paper towel soaks up a spill. The water climbs up, up, up through the trunk, and all the way to the needles. Families need to check the water level every single day. Christmas trees drink a lot of water. A big tree might drink a whole quart every day. If the stand runs out of water, the tree can't drink anymore. Also, families should keep the tree away from heaters and fireplaces. Heat dries out the needles. The tree stays freshest in a cool spot. When families take good care of their tree with plenty of water, it can stay beautiful and green for 4, 5, even 6 weeks. All those tubes inside the trunk keep working, pulling water up to every needle. Let's do one final quiz to see what you remember. True or false? Putting your Christmas tree in water helps keep it fresh and green indoors. The answer is true. Water travels up through tiny tubes in the trunk to reach all the needles and keep them fresh and green. You did it! You made it through the whole journey. So now you know the complete story of how a Christmas tree gets from a farm to your home. It starts as a tiny seed that uses sunlight, water, and air to grow for 7 to 10 years. Then a farmer carefully cuts it down and uses smart balance and ropes to move it safely without breaking any branches. And finally, when it's set up in someone's home, it drinks water through tiny tubes in its trunk to stay fresh and green all season long. The next time you see a Christmas tree, whether it's at a store, on top of a car, or decorated in someone's house, you'll know exactly what that tree went through to get there. From a tiny seed to a beautiful tree, it's an amazing journey.
My mind is blown! Where can I learn more about these videos? Oh yeah, getgoalie.com. There's no ads, there's no junk, just cool stuff for kids and a dedicated tablet. Check it out, getgoalie.com.